Good morning again. Still the 24th of April, Sunday, and we're going to proceed with a reading, a Bible study on Genesis chapter 8. And God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters subsided. Interesting, because right at the beginning of the book here, we had the Spirit of the Lord hovered over the waters. And as I mentioned before, the Filipino tradition, Tagalog, which is the name of their language, that was the name of their bird, their mythical bird that hovered over the waters and drove the waters off the land, and the land appeared. So it was terraforming. Who knows? Maybe it was a spaceship that was doing the terraforming. So God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the water subsided. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and at the end of 150 days the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. Well, it's interesting. The waters prevailed on the earth for 150 days, and then we have the waters continually abating for a period of 150 days. The ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. Ararat may be just a general description, or it might be the name of that actual mountain. I don't know where the ark is. There are a couple of places that I remember, and they found the ark. Of course, people in charge don't want you to find an ark because they don't want the Bible to be proven to be real. They don't want the truth of the Bible to be known. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Again, we have a bird, with wings, air, the Spirit over the waters. However, the raven is a very interesting bird, especially for Alaskans. Raven was the bird who brought the sun, if I remember the story right. It's been a while. I haven't hung out with the natives in quite a while, but raven is basically a protected species in Alaska because it's considered sacred. So there's other stories from other traditions about ravens. I think that's important. Here we have it in the Bible as well. I don't think that takes anything away from the Bible. I think that lends credence to all parties. That's the way I look at it. And he set forth a raven which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. Dove is a nice symbol later on in the Bible. It lights upon the Messiah when he is baptized. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forward his hand and took her and pulled her into him into the ark. So he took real good care of this dove. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and again sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came into him in the evening, and behold, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. Noah knew that the waters had abated from off the earth. And olive leaves would take a little while to sprout up. And he stayed yet another 7 days in the ark, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again to him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, and the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, The face of the ground was dry. These time things are pretty interesting. So Noah's 600 years old, 601st year. It must be Noah's time that's referred to here, but it could have another meaning, could have multiple meanings. It could easily be two meanings. And in the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dry. So the 27th day of that second month. And God spoke unto Noah, saying, Go forth from the ark, you and your wife and your sons' wives with you. Bring forth with you every living thing that is with you, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. So there's that old command, go forth, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth, regenerate the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatever creeps upon the earth after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah built an altar unto Yahweh, and took of every clean beast and every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings upon the altar. So now we know why there were 7 of each. Had to accommodate the offerings. And Yahweh smelled a sweet savor. And Yahweh said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing, everything living as I have done. That's kind of interesting. So this is what Yahweh's stating. This is what his word is. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Okay, that's the end of Genesis chapter 8. That's even shorter and sweeter than previously. What stands out here? Well, we have just Noah, his wife, and the son's wife getting out. We just don't know if maybe there were any pre-Adamic men on the ark right now. And we don't know about some of these other people that have been mentioned. Nama, in particular, is a woman of interest. Because if everything's been destroyed from off the face of the earth, how is it that we still have evil ones with us today? Why weren't they destroyed in that flood? Okay, signing off. Bye-bye.